We all have to solve problems, but how we do it has a major impact on our kids, right? Dr. Elaine Ducharme, a clinical psychologist from Glastonbury, Connecticut, is here with tips on how to get your children to be better problem solvers. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
Well, thanks. So, problem solving is a difficult topic to cover because some parents don't think they're good at it themselves.
Exactly. If parents think of problems as roadblocks, they're in trouble. So what we like to do is help parents learn that problems could really be seen as an opportunity to learn, an opportunity for creativity, and if they can begin to do that, they can teach their children how to do this as well. And they actually learn as they teach their children.
So it's a learning and teaching process.
Exactly. You know, whenever we teach our kids something, we usually are learning as well.
And so to make it easier, you give parents steps. And the first step you say is to stop. Please explain that.
Okay, well what I like to do is have them think about a stoplight, because all kids are familiar with stoplights. So they all know that green means go, yellow is, you know, think about it or slow down, and red is stop. Kids in the classroom have a red stop, yellow freeze, and green go. So we're using a model they're familiar with. So the first step is, is red, stop. Let's figure out what the problem is, define it. And we really have to have the kid think about that, and we might say to them, okay, so what is the problem right now? And the child might say something like, well, you know, Bobby stole my toy. And you say to them, well, okay, well, why is that a problem? And they have to think about it a while. We want to help them verbalize that. And they would say, well, because I'm really sad or I'm really mad. So now we've defined the problem. And then we say to them, okay, well, now we're going to go to the yellow light, which is slow down and think about it. And here's an opportunity for us to teach them about a word that they might not know, and that's called brainstorming. And kids kind of like that word, and we tell them, okay, well, what can you do? Well, here's an opportunity to come up with ideas. What could I possibly do here? So what could you do if somebody took your toy? And sometimes the kids will say, well, I'll just go grab it back, or I don't know, or I'm going to cry. And so we really can encourage them to think about other options. So it might be, well, somebody might say, I'll grab it back. Well, what else could you do? Well, maybe I could ask for it. Or maybe they could come up with the idea of we take turns, you know, or we switch toys. So after you get a list of solutions, and we usually ask for about 3, and anything, you know, it doesn't matter how silly it is or anything. And then we say, okay, let's look at these. Which ones seem to be maybe okay to try, and others are kind of not so good, like hit your brother over the head. Probably not a really good one.
Probably not the best idea.
No, not at all, not at all. So then after they've listed that, we say to them, okay, we're ready to go to the green light. Let's pick one.
And that's go.
And that is go. So we pick one, and the child picks it, and we try it, and then we'll say, okay, well, maybe the child picked. Let's ask if we can share. And if his brother or the other child says, okay, that works out well. So we've now gone through those stages, and we now sit down and say, okay, let's evaluate, did it work, and plan for the next time. If it worked, we can use it again, or maybe we have to change.
So the last steps are reevaluate and plan.
Absolutely.
And you tell parents problem solving is a difficult thing, so you always tell them to calm down and just be patient with the process.
Exactly. It's a learning process, and you know, encourage your child, ask open-ended questions, and remember, you know, every opportunity that you have to do this helps the child become a better problem solver in life in general.
Great. And you also have an idea for parents to get their children creative with problem solving.
Yeah, one of the things that's really fun is to have your child, give your child several things that don't seem to be related. Like you might give them a paper cup, a pipe cleaner, a straw, and maybe a couple pieces of paper, and say to them, you know what, mommy's going to be busy for the next 15 minutes. What are you going to do to entertain yourself? This is all you have to use. And the kids kind of look at you and say, well, where are the electronics? You know, I want to be able to play with them, you know, something electronic. And say, nope, let's just pretend we're at the doctor's office and this is all you have to do. And it's amazing what kids will do, and give them the opportunity. They will make all kinds of things. I did this at the YMCA in Meriden, Connecticut a couple weeks ago, and they made dumbbells. They shared cups and they made dumbbells. One little girl made a teacup. She put the pipe cleaner on the side of the cup. It was adorable. One little boy tore up paper and balls and used a cup and made a basketball game. So it gives your kids an opportunity to use their creativity and not just see, oh, I have nothing to play with. That's the roadblock. The creativity comes in saying, wow, I have an opportunity to do something really cool.
And so this creativity, this activity, can it help them with problem solving?
Absolutely, because they've just had to problem solve. How am I going to keep myself busy with things that don't seem related? So it begins to get their mind practicing, and whenever we use our mind, it's kind of like a muscle. Whenever you work out, if you use that muscle more and more, you do a better job. So if you practice and use your mind to problem solve, it begins to generalize to other situations. It's, oh no, we don't have to just feel stuck. Let's think about this for a little bit. Let's brainstorm. And that really works well in life.
So you give them a fun activity to help them with some problems that might not be too fun.
Absolutely. And then, you know, in the course of your day, you have all kinds of opportunities, like, gee, it's cold out. Should we wear a bathing suit or should we put on a sweater? You know, for little ones, you can do that kind of thing. For older teens, you get into bigger things, like, you know, your friends are all drinking. What are you planning to do tonight? So you can adjust those kinds of things to the age level of the child.
Well, thank you for your tips. It's been really insightful. We appreciate you
No
being
problem.
here. To view these tips again, visit us online at mymassivepeel.com later today.